Well, Josh, let's just jump right into it. Tell us about some paranormal experiences.
I personally only had one paranormal experience that I can recall, but like mostly, I want to talk about the Okikahara Forest in Japan at the foot of Mount Fuji. That's that's been pretty much haunted slash like it's like been stigmatized for probably multiple hundreds of years. You know, it's samurai used to go there to commit suicide, which is crazy, and then it's just everyone's been following that trend for 100 years, and people have seen all kinds of paranormal activity there, which is really crazy. I've seen a documentary where people were like following ghosts, and you know, like you got to take that stuff with a grain of salt a lot of times, unless it's a personal experience. But like it would make sense that it's a spot they call in Japan, they call the sea of trees, because like it's such a dense landscape, and it's just it makes sense that there's energy that's been stuck there, especially people with you know, down on their luck and don't really know what to do with themselves. Japan actually has a pretty big issue, a big problem with their suicide rate there, that they've been trying to change the stigma of that forest, but it's just kind of hard when foreigners like us keep bringing it up and want to talk about suicide, you know, and yeah, it's pretty nuts, pretty freaking nuts.
Don't isn't there like officials that are like keeping tabs on the forest to try and prevent people from killing themselves?
Yeah, and there's all kinds of signs posted. It's like your family would miss you if you're gone. You know, like you have a lot to live for, all kinds of stuff. And there's people regularly inspecting the forest to see if they can find people that have taken their life. But like, it would make sense. I'm not wishing that I was there and seen dead bodies, because like that's not really what I want out of this. But to feel that aura of the forest is kind of like what's interesting to me, you know.
Yeah, totally.
Sure.
Yeah.
I could see that being a pretty powerful place energetically, you know, because just that amount of life, you know, of trees in general, and then you know that interaction between those trapped auras, you know, and that energy. It's like what we were talking about, and what Colton brought up a couple shows ago, where you have like a traumatic event that's so powerful that it sears itself into the fucking air, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you have all that life kind of just anchoring it in place. I'm sure it's really powerful. You know?
Yeah, and then on top of that, it's like times like 1,000, you know, because they find over the last 5 years, I think they said they found over 100 corpses there, you know, of people that go and end their life there, which is nuts. So there has to be like, you know, a lot of spiritual mumbo jumbo going on there for sure.
Dude, what if it was like so powerful in like pockets of the forest, like you go there as a tourist to see, but then you feel like this gloom, you know, just come over you, and then it just fucking penetrates your being, where it's like, oh, I got nothing to live for, I'm gonna kill myself now.
Yeah, see, like it's almost like the Blair Witch Project in a way, where it's like they get there and then all of a sudden they never leave, you know. It's like,
absolutely,
I can see that as like almost like a hook, line, and sinker type of thing, where you don't go intentionally thinking about ending your life, but like all of a sudden you get there and you interact with the aura and the energy there, and you know, you fall into a dark hole where you can't really find your way out of it, which is nuts.
That's wild. Like just that person that's been permeated by that energy, they kind of get stuck in this mind maze, and then it's like just a downward spiral.
And honestly, if people aren't strong enough, like definitely any entity can attach itself to itself. And that's one place where it's like, death is a weird thing. They like, some people, you know, it's the end of their life. Death is a beautiful thing. They can go there and end it. But other people, it is sadness. And if something is still strong, it can attach to weak, feeble-minded people. You know what I mean?
Do you think, like, if you have that level of attachment, do you have that massive auras? Do you think it can like create like something larger, like what am I trying to say? Like an amalgamation, like a construct, like that's formed of multiple auras that it becomes something greater.
Almost like a poltergeist?
Huh?
Almost like a poltergeist?
Yeah, like it becomes like almost conscious, you know, like it's like you have all these auras, right? It's like these events that are just like, you know, burned into the landscape, but then like they start coalescing, you know what I mean?
Well,
and, like,
I mean, picture this.
Could you have something like, could you create conscience out of that?
Absolutely. Picture this. So like imagine one spirit or entity working as the brain, the other spirit or entity working as the emotions, one spirit or entity working as a body. I mean, you know, they're each separate, have their own individual thoughts and how to react differently, but it is almost like one simultaneously conscious, you know, aspect. And I feel like almost anything can relate to that. I don't know. I mean, that's a theory, but
you know, like it sounds so dangerous, but I feel like that's one place that I would actually like to visit just once in my life. You know, not to be disrespectful.
No, not at all.
Because that's not, you know, that's not what I aim for. But like just to absorb and just to take it in.
We live to die. We live to die, and imagine a place, checking out a place where people go to die. That's kind of like, you know, you know, humbling.
I'm gonna tie a string around your waist, Josh, and just stand at the edge of the forest.
Yeah, do it. If I yank on it, you know to pull me back.
He's dealing with zonies.
Oh man.
Hell yeah, that was a good one, man.
That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, I've wanted to talk about it for a while, but like, I guess this is the best platform to do that. Just, you know, especially this week. Yeah. Me and Colt have also seen a crazy flying saucer in the air in the skies of Loveland, which was nuts. It was like,
no way.
Yeah. It was nuts because we were looking at each other like, there's no way that's in the sky right now.
Yeah.
And it was like a shining, colorful light that was like flickering and changing colors and bouncing around in the sky.
It was weird.
Like, you see that?
Did it kind of look like a dead star, right? But it was moving?
Yes, exactly. And it was close. It was probably like 200 feet above us.
And it bounced around. It was, the movement was like, it shot over here, bounced, shot back, went that way. It was the craziest shit I've ever seen.
And then it just fucking disappeared. We both we're like, dude, you've seen that, right? And we're like, yeah, dude, look at that shit. Like, it was nuts. It was freaking crazy. Like, I couldn't even claim to know what that is. But like, that's just one thing that, you know, it raises more questions than it answers, for sure.
For sure.
Cool. I didn't see anything that close, but I was in the Utah desert for like 3.5 weeks doing whitewater rafting when I was a teenager, and we slept open sky, and you could see satellites and all kinds of shit out there. But a couple of nights, it was the same thing like you were describing, Colton, where it's like there was like this point of light. It looked like a plane, and it's like boop, 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 like just turning at right angles and stopping and then moving and then stopping. It's fucking bizarre, dude.
But this thing was like super close. Like, it looked like, okay, from how close we were to it, it looked like the size of a hand, like up in the sky, right? Yeah. But it was like a circular orb that was flickering different colors, and it was bouncing around the sky.
It was that big?
It was huge.
Yeah,
it was massive.
It was that big.
Yeah,
it was
That's
that
crazy.
Big. Me and Colton were like, "There's no fucking way. Like, what did we just see? Like,
it was insane." Yeah.
Nuts. And that was just in Loveland, yeah?
Yeah, in Loveland.
Yeah,
it seems I seen like a lot of weird shit happen on the west side of town of Loveland.
Was it 440? What was the street?
It was First Street. First Street and Wilson.
First Street.
Yeah. So you're closer to the mountains, right?
Yeah.
Closer to Colton's house
which is closer to the mountains. We're right at the foothill. It's like 5 minutes away. I can walk to the mountains.
How far were you from Devil's Backbone?
Like, so like the next street over, but like in the same area, just maybe like 2 or 3 miles away from it.
I feel like some weird shit would happen around there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, should we play some Fortnite?
Let's do it.
All right, and just for the new people, for the people joining us right now, we just got Kyle onto it not long ago, and he's been crushing it, dude. I'm telling you, he is gonna be our sniper and our lookout while I just act like
he's gonna be our ringer. Don't fuck this up, Kyle.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, watch me just suck terribly.
No, this is first round, so you can get a suck one time at least.
Okay, just give me one.